Hello, MMA community. This is your boy Joe Dog coming back at you for our fight post-fight recap and to follow up on how all of our predictions went and anything unusual that maybe was on all of our minds and we may have wanted to discuss and didn't get the chance to. I want to bring it all out right now. Okay. First of all, the post-weigh-in and face-off final video I made was on cue. I mean, even the replacement fight that I mentioned, if you go back and see the video, I talked about Charlie Oliveira's the replacement for Holland's fight. If you guys remember what I said I didn't want to say too many bad things about the guy, but I said he's got no heart. This is the kind of guy that if he's put in to a position where he's like not even in a position where he has to tap or he could get out of a submission, but he noticed that he's facing some adversity against especially a game guy like Holland, who's a beast, one of the most unique skill set in the entire UFC in my opinion, with his background, black belt in Kung Fu, which is unusual, very unorthodox style and very aggressive. You've seen those with the way he pounded him and slammed him. That guy didn't want to be there, and I know from what I studied on this guy, his heart is not there. He doesn't have the heart. He's got the physique. He looks, so that's why he was such a big underdog. I told you guys in the video, I said if this guy's put in a position where he doesn't even have to tap out, he'll find a way. He was the first guy I think I can ever think of that verbally tapped. He told the judge, he told the ref, I don't want to go on anymore. Stop the fight. He verbally tapped. He didn't even. That was just such a cowardly move, man. I mean, that guy could have gone on. Everybody knows that. And anyways, he took the easy road out and pretended he was unable to continue, in my opinion. And that's what I predicted. So the submission probably would have been a way for you guys to have cashed in instead of having to pay that very heavy price tag of minus 715. You could have got it at even, I think, possibly plus money. So anyways, because it's not really one of his things, the submissions. But like I said, this guy is very quick to want to tap out, and he verbally tapped. Anyways, every prediction on this was another week. I went perfect. No, and when it comes to my parlays, if you look at my free parlay picks, 100% on every single one of them. And overall picks from the prelims, I had a perfect prelim. A lot of people were on the dog Natividad. I knew he had no chance compared to Miles Jury, especially coming off of a loss. He was going to be super motivated to get back on the winning column, and he was going to use his wrestling, which was far more superior. And as you could see, anytime this guy tried to open up with a combo, anything more than a one punch, he was getting taken to the ground, controlled. It was not even a close fight, just as I expected it to. I think the lines were way off too. He should have been, there was some value there. He should have been a way bigger favorite. But even most of the other people that do predictions, I don't want to point any names out, but most of them were on Natividad. They said that guy's cardio wasn't good enough and the feed wasn't going to be good enough. But come on, man. How do you miss the fact that where his advantages lie are all he needed to get the W here? He was way, way better, more experienced, fought way better competition. All the signs were there. Anyway, so just keep paying attention to what I'm saying, man. Don't get sidetracked and confused by anybody else's picks. If you're gonna be my subscriber, my follower, don't be confused. Don't confuse. Less is more. You don't want to get too many different people's opinions. Focus on mine, you'll be in good shape. There's a reason why every week, as you can see, if you go on my my Twitter at Fighting Guru with 1G, FIGHTINGURU, you'll see several days before, once again, before the fight started this week, again, I posted my bet slips, and just go off the bet slips and you'll see I made over $10,000 in profit, over $13,000. And mind you, this is with 2 fights getting canceled and 1 decision we got robbed. The only one that you can say I got wrong in the entire card, everybody knows. There's a reason why the only fight that the media asked Dana White about this decision, how he felt about the decision that they made, was the Bobby Green fight. I'll show you the numbers. I didn't have time today, but if you want, I'll put it in the comments. You can look in the comments. I'll post the link for the pictures. In every area, heads, body, leg strikes, control time, takedown, every aspect of the entire fight, but more importantly, significant strike. Now I'm a fighter. I've been in fights. I know how they rate. I know what they tell you to do to win fights. Besides submission attempt, and it wasn't even a big difference. I mean, you're pretty much, if you want to say that wasn't even an advantage, you're giving him 0 out of 1 is the only number that I guess you could say he beat Bobby Green at. Every other place, total strikes, significant strike, he more than tripled Thiago Moses' numbers. Came out standing. I mean, he ended the round strong. Like, I mean, obviously you could have done better, but I mean, how much more better do you need to do when you're more than tripling your opponent's landed strikes? Like, even if they gave Thiago Moses credit for the strikes that he didn't land, just if he gave him 100% credit for everything he threw, even the ones he missed, he still should have fell short and lost by a landslide. A unanimous decision should have gone down. But, you know, in the past, they've done this to him. If it wasn't for the last time that he was on the other end of the decision, the wrong end of the decision, actually, Bobby Green should be on a 7-fight win streak. His last loss was another decision that didn't go his way because it's obvious that the judges don't like this guy's style of fighting. And, you know, but he's winning fights. That's the most important. Who cares what we like? There's a system. There's a setup that you got to stick with. It's got to be consistent. You can't use favoritism. Anyways, we chose all the right choices. I mean, everything else after that is out of our control. You can't. Anybody who picked against Bobby Green and went up for the underdog in this fight made the wrong pick. Whatever the outcome was, you do that long enough, you start picking them wrong like that and hoping for weird things like this to happen, you're going to end up losing at the end of the day. And that's why, regardless of 2 fights getting canceled, which is just like as if we had lost because we didn't get the winnings, which would have added to extra thousands of dollars at the end of the night when you include them into all the different parlays and straight bets. I would have had them on 2 fights plus a robbery, 3 total fights that we didn't take advantage of. I still profited in just my slips alone, my own personal slips. As you can see on my Twitter and some of the images that I posted in the comments, I made over $13,000. And I didn't even invest more than a few hundred or whatever it was. I think you got to do the total and add it up on the tickets, but it wasn't much. I made over 10 times my money back. And so that's why I said it's very imperative that you follow the exact same guidelines, the exact same system that I'm using as far as my parlay. There's a lot of actually genius behind this. There's beauty behind the madness, that it seems like it's all random and stuff. No, I take into consideration how many of these fights do I know for sure are not going to have to go to the decision where I can face being robbed at the scorecards, because you never know, as you could tell, what can happen at with the judges in the judges' hands. I factor in how many fights are going to be the ones that are not going to go to decision, that I know the opponent will get finished, submitted, knocked out, whatever. I'll take that, and those are the ones I'll put more money on, and I'll put them in. There's a very beautiful system behind the. It's very systematically set up so that it's in your favor. Your eggs are not all in one basket, so I use all my favorite picks and I put them in different combinations, different variations. So even if 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of them blow it, you're not losing all your money, and you're still going to come out with profit. Every week, you're just going to ask me, hey, Joe Dog, how much did you make this week? Not did you win your money back? Did you lose? Those questions will never be asked because it's impossible for me to do any of those things. It's just a matter of how much did you make. And on my worst day, you're looking at triple back my money. And that's like if something really weird, even with all that happened this card, I still made way more than 7 times my money back. 6-7 times my money back on my worst day. So here's one of the advantages of being a member. I'm going to start this is going to be the first day I'm opening up the memberships for anybody who wants to be a VIP member. You're going to get access to my bet slips on usually Sunday, the day after the fights are over. I'll have my bet slips ready for the following week so you can get ahead of the line movement. I usually be able to get them to you even before the casinos open the windows and take the bets. But just in case you get abilities, you have some sites that take bets way in advance. I'll make sure you get the numbers way before the line movements start to hit. Like I had locked in, for example, Adrian Yanez, who I knew was going to be. I even said it in my videos. If you go back, it was going to be it was going to be a mismatch everywhere it went, and it was going to be an early finish. I said he probably won't even make it out of the first round. He won't. If you look at my videos, I said he won't even. Rodriguez guy won't even make it out of the first round. I predicted. Look at my. I posted on my Twitter. All my over-unders hit. I even was perfect on that. I put, this was the closest one though. I put John Miles John. I put over 2.5. He knocked out Natividad at like 10 seconds over the 2.5 round mark. So that was super duper close. I was at the edge of my seat on that one, but that hit. I hit the, which one did I put going? On the under, Alex Hernandez. I knew it was a big mismatch. He was gonna. That's why he was the biggest favorite of the night, besides Holland when he got a replacement for Charlie. But before the Charlie and Holland last minute fight, the biggest favorite was Alex Hernandez, and for good reason. They got Adam Akers were on top of their stuff this week. They got everything correct, if you ask me. Anyway, sorry for that. But so. Yeah, the under on that one hit, under 1.5 hit on that one, that paid nicely. So I was able to find ways to make plus money big favorites almost pay off like underdogs would have, and that's my other thing. Besides my beautiful system that is bulletproof to make sure that all your parlays hit, or if the ones that don't hit is not going to affect you much because the ones that do hit end up making you way more than your money back. But also, there's a logic behind, like I do hours of study and research. I have years of experience that you can't just develop overnight, the ability to do what I do unless you've been a fan as long as I've been. And then there's the most important advantage that you'll never find. There's nobody else that will have this advantage on top of all the combination of other things that I just mentioned, but fighting experience. Not only fighting, I was a trainer for longer than I was a fighter. I fought since I was young, but I trained new recruits and people at the gym for a longer time than I was even a fighter myself. So, the training really gives you a different aspect. Like, look how well James Cross did after he started training people and cornering people, and then he got into his own. He gave Claudia the Hannibal Silva his first and only loss in the UFC, and he's not even that big because I think if he wasn't training and mentoring people, that he wouldn't have been, his IQ and ring IQ and generalship wouldn't have been as good as it was that fight. Even with an injured knee, he showed such beautiful IQ in that ring that he got the W and fought beautifully. Even when Silva took him to the ground, where he usually finishes everybody that he takes to the ground, he was able to wrestle out of those dangerous positions and get the W and hand Silva his first loss. So very impressive. And that's the advantages that you have when you're looking at fights from the other side of the trainers and mentors, So that's another thing that you're getting when you're paying for my membership. It's not an expensive thing because the membership fees are so small to join my membership club that you'll get it back if you just make a small bet on every Saturday. Your first Saturday, your membership will pay itself back tenfold. So no need to worry about that. You're not really spending money. You're making money by investing. Look at it as an investment. Also, there's other perks. I'm going to be making a shirt soon for the club. You guys will be getting shirts. You're going to be getting access to videos before other people will, and be able to communicate with me, ask me questions, and there's going to be an open line of communication for us. You being a member, I'll be able to answer your questions and you take some of your requests. Another thing I wanted to touch on is, so we had another back-to-back weeks of perfect picks, no mistakes. Even the prop bets, everything was perfect for us. Who do I want to talk about? It was impressive to me. Jason Witz, I don't know if it was that he was so impressive, because he did come in better shape than he's ever been, and he did look impressive. He was like, his last 4 or 5 wins were by decision, and this time we actually closed the fight out by beating somebody with a submission instead of a decision finally, because he was like a decision machine in my opinion, and he improved himself to be making improvements now. Although Cole Williams did look pretty sloppy, came in way overweight. I think he missed weight by more than anybody else on the night. So besides that, he was very impressive as well. So what else do I want to talk about that happened? Sorry, I'm not prepared today. It's real late, and just want you guys to know, look, my other casinos where I won money, a total at just one of the casinos where I posted, my Rivers Casino, where I have my brother and my father go take my bets because I'm on vacation. They go hand in. I don't like to bet online at the casinos as much as possible if I'm able to physically hand in a slip, because when you have an online account at a place, even though online accounts that I have here, I don't control them. I mean, I have the password and I can go into them, but I don't do it myself because I don't like, there's so many other things that I can have access to, slot machines, blackjack, other games that I may be too tempted, so I don't want to have the ability to do it. I give my picks to my girlfriend or my father sometimes, and they'll take care of it for me. But look, I didn't even get my funds deposited. By tomorrow morning, all the casinos will have deposited the funds that I made, and I've made several thousands of dollars for one of the casinos. I think I posted the images as well. You can see it on my Twitter. I deposited a couple hundred it was, and we made a couple thousand. So we same percentage wise, just on the smaller amount than we did at the bigger casino where we put the physical slips in that I took a picture of, and also posted the slips, the payout slips afterwards. So before and after I posted the slips. But to give you an example, man, like look, this here, this is just from one casino's earnings, okay? This is what we made off of one casino. We're not even finished being paid out yet, okay? The online deposits haven't even hit yet for me to cash. This is have you guys ever seen a $500 bill? This is equivalent, this is a euro. Euros are the most expensive currency, if I'm not mistaken. And this here is worth like $600 in American money. So if I go to a currency exchange or an exchange market, and I give them this in exchange, or at the airport they'll do this. If I give them this bill, they'll give me back around $600, maybe more than $600 in American money. So this is just 600. I got these, another $500, and they're so cool. The size and the color is different in euros. This is we don't have in America. In America, the best we can do is a $100 bill, which is all right, and they're all the same size and same color. This is a $200 bill. This is a $100 bill. They're all different sizes. From the larger amount that I wish I had a $5 bill, but they're even smaller than this 10. Look at the discrepancy between this 10 and this 5. I feel like I'm playing Monopoly money over here. This is real currency, man. This is what these bets bring us in, guys. Join in on the club. The sooner you join in, this is over $10,000 in American money. And you know, that's just from one weekend. This is how many weeks in a month? 4 weeks, 4 or 5 Saturdays in a month. You know, membership is dirt cheap, $100, and this is what you're going to be doing every week if you just follow. Don't try to go outside of it. Don't take other people's opinions. Just take my bet slips, go to the casino. This is what my other customers done. They take my bet slips, they go to the register or the cashier and say, I just want this exactly the way it looks here, nothing different. And some people, they can put more or less. The only thing that you can change that won't make a difference is the amount that the wager. So that, depending on how much you want to make back, the more you wager, the more you make, obviously. So whatever you're capable of playing around with that day, that's what you drop in on it, okay? So let's put this away before my girl sees it, and then she's going on a shopping spree, and I got to start placing bigger wagers. Alright, so here, proof in its hand. You know, this is real, authentic money. I know it looks fake, but look at the, I don't know if you can see it, but this is what the hologram, they have holograms on them. I don't know if you can see the hologram, is very shiny. But I am from America. This is just a short vacation, so I will be exchanging that money. So I'm on a vacation right now, just traveling around the world, doing business with you know, new business ventures that I'm looking into currently. But I'll be back in the States in a very short time. Anyways, if you have any questions, comments you'd like to make, please, I'm open to your opinions. Look out for my next video coming up very soon. Now, if you're not a member, obviously, you're not going to be able to take advantage of the line movement. You may get, oh, I was even saying, I got sidetracked. I got Yanez at minus 290 or it was like lower 300s or upper 200s at fight night, the day of the fights. Yanez was a minus 500. 500. That means my profits will be cut in half almost. So if I bet him if you bet it, when I bet it, when I would have given you my slips, which is always going to be no later than Monday, sometime sooner, you're getting twice as much money on your investment, twice as much winnings and profit on your bet. So waiting, and but I'm gonna give you my picks for free. If you want to wait till fight night, you're not gonna make as much money. So by being cheap, by trying to save $1 here, you're costing yourself way more than that by doing that. So look in the description. I'm going to change it. I'm going to show you guys how you can become members and subscribe and all that stuff. But please subscribe, hit the reminder, hit the like, show me some love. I'm trying to transition into doing this full time. If I could do it full time, you'll get more content. You'll get more longer, detailed videos because when I'm going to break down these fights coming up on Saturday, I'm not just going to pick the winners. I'm going to tell you why they're going to win and how they're going to win and when they're going to win. And it's all going to make sense. I'm going to break it down in a way that nobody can break it down. Not even their own selves, not even their own trainers are going to be able to break it down the way I can. I'll give you an example. Like for the Arlovski fight, everybody's wondering, like, he's getting in a big age right now. I don't want to sidetrack, but Arlovski, there's a reason why every fight of his is razor close. That guy's experience makes up for what he's lacking in physical because of his age. I know he's getting up there in age. He's the Bernard Hopkins of our UFC. That guy, Bernard Hopkins was knocking people out in his 50s that were 20 and 30, better than the 20 and 30-year-olds that were still in the game. That he did it better than those people could have. And there's a reason. Arlovski, he'll fight. He knows if his IQ is genius. He comes from a great camp. His teammates are like Holly Holmes and John Jones and same type of trainers and people on his corner, on his ringside, helping him get in between rounds, telling him what to do. He knows how to make fights close, but he's usually at the losing end of it because he doesn't have the little extra stuff that he needed to get it because, of course, like he's getting up there in age, so his physical cannot match his mental, but his mental is up there, man. Like you got it. He's so strong. That guy's always got a puncher. So as an underdog, depending on who he's fighting against, that's one of those guys that he's always a live dog, and that's why he still got fights. You never count Arlovski out, man, and that's not somebody I would ever put too much money up against unless he's fighting some type of a killer who I know can take him out quick and decisively control him and has a good chin. That's the type of person like. So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to tell you the risks first, the rewards, how much you should risk it, how many times you should put them in a parlay, what to avoid, what to stay away from, what's really risky, what's not so risky. Like last week I gave you the ones that I said were the safest. I'm 99, when I say 95% sure that this guy's going to win, parlay that piece. That's a parlay piece. But I'm going to make sure that even if those parlay pieces don't work out for you, you don't have to worry about it because we're not putting all our eggs in one basket. We're still going to make profit. So don't worry, you're in good hands. Joe Dog is going to take care of you guys. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Show me some love in the comments, please. And I'll be making the next video coming up very soon. Every day you're going to get a video from me. So teaching you guys about this, that, or the other. But the next video I'm going to hope for will be speaking more about the fights coming up this Saturday, specific fighters, people to look out for. There's some undefeated prospects that I want to talk about, some amazing talent, and the lines are awesome on this card, man. There's some lines that should be like last week when I said, for example, John Miles should have been a way bigger, a huge favorite, but he was only a slight favorite, paying very good money. It was almost like at a pick'ems, and I knew it was not even going to be a close fight. The guy had no chance of winning, especially when he was coming off of a loss and his only first loss. He needed to get back on the one, and he was not going to lose that fight, but the odds were amazing. He was only like a tiny favorite. So there's plenty of those on this card as well I want to talk about that have value. So my most favorite thing to talk about is my value bets, the one that you should focus on the most, that will make you the most money in parlays and straight bets, both. So the system I want to talk about as well is so good, not just for the parlays, but just your overall betting system, that how you can use straight bets, not there's some fights that even if you know who's going to win, they're not worth betting money on because you're not going to get as much of a return on, and lots of stuff to talk about throughout the week. It's still early in the week. We got plenty of time before Saturday comes around. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let me know if you're interested in being members. All right. Thank you guys. God bless. Stay safe out there.